Hey everyone, Jason the Phone Boy here. I wanted to show you guys a very good flashlight that I've come across. I've had this one for about 6 months, and I was first turned on to it by a customer who actually sold this brand of flashlight in their store. And I played around with it while I was there and thought, these are really cool, but I didn't buy one from them because they didn't have any, so I went online and found them. And this flashlight is from a brand, I think they're up and coming, but they are called Outback flashlights. You see a little kangaroo there with a flashlight in its hand. And this is a Mongo, M-O-N-G-O. They have, when they first came out with this light, I think they had 3 styles of lights when I purchased this one. Now they've got somewhere about a dozen different lights that they sell. This light, in my opinion, is probably one of the best lights in recent years that I've seen. There's a lot of brand names out there that make really good flashlights. I know Phoenix makes some really good flashlights. Coast makes some really good flashlights, which we'll talk about that one a little bit here. But this is just simplicity at its best. This is a flashlight for people who use their lights in a hard use work environment. And I'll explain what I mean by simplicity. If you open it up, most flashlights at least do this. You have the tail cap you open up and your batteries go inside. From there, many flashlights are built in different situations, so trying to get in and out of them to fix things or to find parts or whatever, it's a real pain in the butt. On this particular flashlight, your body also comes apart, which that's not really uncommon either. You can find a lot of flashlights where that does that. But what's nice is it's a perfectly clean tube, and if, say, one of your batteries expands while in there, you can take it completely apart and pull it out. I know with a mag light, if your batteries corrode inside of a mag light, getting them out, you might as well just throw the thing away. Maglight claims to replace those, but I've never had them do it, so you better throw them away, because you can't get to the other side like this, not with that much ease to pull them out. So in this one, if the batteries were to corrode, you can simply open it up and then jab a dowel rod through there and really just force them out the other side. The headpiece also comes apart, and you've got your bezel and a reflector. Once again, this isn't really uncommon for them to break down this much, but to get to this point, this is the part that I really love about these. Look at this. It's so simple. You've got a star 3-watt Cree R5 emitter on here. It's simple. You got a bolt here and a bolt here. Take those 2 bolts out, you pull it off the thermal paste, and then you've got a solder there and a solder on that side as well. That's it. So you can purchase a brand new emitter. One of these star emitters costs about $15 to $20 online, and replace that yourself if it were to burn out or go bad. And the body of this thing is made like a tank in reality. You can go further. You can break this thing down even further. You've got a hole here and a hole over here that helps you to unscrew it and pull it up. But I mean, just the simplicity of being able to change out that emitter is a wonderful thing to me. Being someone who's somewhat savvy when it comes to that type of deal, if it goes bad or something breaks, I'd rather replace it myself than to have to send all that stuff off to get it fixed. As opposed to this Coast LED lenser, in order to get to that emitter, you got to take this whole ring off right here. Then when you pull it off, there's a lot of stuff internally in there that you have to pull apart and work on. It's just not something that's a simple fix compared to this deal here. Now, discussing how easy these are to fix, they actually have a lifetime warranty on these. And I don't know, looking at their website, it's a little bit different than what it was when I purchased these. But they have a lifetime warranty that basically, even if you were to drop this thing from 50 feet in the air, if it hits the ground and it quits working, they'll replace it. As long as it's not damage caused by the batteries or caused by any kind of modifications to the light. If the light does not run the way it's supposed to run, then they will fix it and replace it for the cost of you to ship it to them. So you package this up, you ship it to them. If they find that the damage is, legitimate and it's not something that was caused on purpose or done on purpose, they'll replace it, they'll ship it back to you for free. So for the cost of shipping costs, they will fix it and send it back to you. So in my mind, that's a pretty good deal for a $45 light. Now on their website, they go for $55 roughly. I think it's like 53 plus tax, so let's just say 55 bucks. So if you actually go to Outback's website and buy one of these lights, it's going to cost you about $15 more than if you were to go to Amazon and purchase one of these. But I just haven't seen very many reviews on these flashlights. They're good flashlights. I've had this one for 8 months, no problems, no issues. The runtime on it is phenomenal. Like I said, I'm at 6 hours of use with this thing, and it's still, the batteries are running just as strong as they were beforehand. It's a 200 lumen light with a really good spot, and I've got the lights on here, but you can see that ring right there. Sorry, over here. Looking at my camera here. You can see this ring right here. So it's got a decent flood, and then it's got a really good spot on it. And the distance on this will shoot out, I think it says like 300 yards. I know for a fact that at 200 yards I can see perfectly fine with it. Compared to my Coast P14, which is 200 lumens and then 220 on turbo mode, they are close. I mean, we're looking at, both of them are about 200 lumens, and the LED lenser is a little bit brighter simply because of the fact that it's got a larger pinpoint. But for the cost, it's just a great cost. One of the other things I really like about it is, unlike the LED lenser, you've got a turbo holding it down, a high, a low, and then an off. It's nice to have a low mode, but most flashlights, as the power wanes, they're just going to go into low mode anyway. It's a natural occurrence. This flashlight has a simple on, off. No memory codes, no kind of turbo, strobe, and all that kind of stuff. You simply turn it on, you simply turn it off. Idiot proof. It's a great flashlight. I mean, it's made out of high quality aluminum, very sturdy and very thick aluminum. And I don't know what the measurement on aluminum is, but this is a very thick, heavy aluminum. The gnarling around the outside edge is extremely aggressive and very sturdy. So if you were in a wet situation, this would not come out of your hands. And it goes the entire length of the flashlight, except for where the switch is, and then there's some even up here at the front if you were holding it like that, or if you had it in a position like so. So for 45 bucks and the amount of light that it puts out for the runtime that it has, I have to say it's a great light. So, if you do any kind of like first response type stuff like I do, and you show up at a scene at nighttime, you don't want to lose your flashlight, especially when I've got a flashlight here that cost me, this LED lenser cost me 80 bucks. So $80 for this flashlight, and you kind of have to baby these a little bit, because if you scratch the glass on the bezel, because that's not glass, that's plastic, if you scratch that plastic, that's going to ruin your light completely. That will ruin the way that your light goes. It's going to look like a mag light with all kinds of squirrels and stuff. This light is just a beater light, and it's something that I can hand to somebody else, and if they run off and steal it, well, it's $40. It's a lot better than an $80 flashlight. So it's a great beater flashlight, and they say that they're water resistant. Mine's waterproof. If you take the tail cap off and then kind of suck on the end of it, kind of doing a vacuum seal, there's no air leak in it whatsoever. Everything in here is very solid. I would feel perfectly fine if this were to drop into a pool somewhere and I dove down and pulled it back up. I believe that it would easily uphold under those conditions. Whereas, once again, this $80 light, is susceptible in wet weather to getting wet water all up inside of it and ruining that LED. Anyway, that is the Outback Mongo. Take a look at it. Like I said, it's a great price. It's a great flashlight. They've got a video on YouTube from Outback where they're throwing this thing against a brick wall, like throwing it overhand at a brick wall, and the light never goes out the whole time. So just kind of a testament to how sturdy these lights really are. So I'm Jason the Phone Boy, and remember, you got to think outside of the box in order to stay outside of the box.